Bitcoin is battling the critical 200-day simple moving average, and while that is happening, Cronos is copying a very bullish fractal. Moreover, on a more personal note, my CRO bag reached a very important milestone. But how much exactly? Well guys, I would say let's strap in and let's find out. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only Coin Baron, and again, it's the time of the month to discuss if it's time to buy or sell your CRO. And to do that, guys, I want to start with a chart over here that we normally do not discuss, the DXY, the US dollar index. And guys, this is a very important one this month because we just had the Fed rate cut of 0.5 basis points. And really guys, the dollar is about to collapse, it seems, because we're battling these important ranges. And looking at the charts, we can actually fall down a lot lower. Normally, a falling chart is not a good sign. However, specifically in this case, it is. With the US dollar becoming weaker and weaker and weaker, the Bitcoin US dollar price is going higher, higher and higher. And not only Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen, all other cryptos, but also gold, stocks, and other foreign currencies will get a nice boost. So get those bags ready. I'm telling you guys all of this because the narrative of a weaker dollar also supports the technicals that we can find on the charts. For example, to the left of me, we have the relative strength index of Bitcoin. And what is so cool to see is that we have a break over here on the weekly. So guys, what does this mean for Bitcoin? Well, take a look at the last break of the RSI over here. So the last time we had a break, that was in March, by the way, of this year, we went up from basically, what is this? 41 to about 75k for Bitcoin. So guys, a very bullish sign, especially also because the RSI has cooled off a lot, as you can see. We're back in the purple area and we needed that break, guys, because over here we were overheated. And right now we're cooled down and we have a break. So very bullish, I would say, for Bitcoin on the longer term. That's not all though, ladies and gentlemen. In the month of September, we also had a weekly close just above the 50-week simple moving average. And guys, this really cemented the support line that we have at about 50,000 US dollar. But also if you start to zoom out, then guys, this might actually be the jump that we need to complete this pattern. Because what I've been saying, I think already for months by this point, is that we have a potential cup and handle pattern. And normally the handle is something like this. And guys, I draw like a 3-year-old. But if we zoom in specifically on the handle, things become more interesting because we can see some patterns emerging. For example, here we set a high for this range. And then we continue to set a lower high and another lower high and another lower high. And right here though, the pattern changes, because we do match the previous lower high. And that is interesting because that can mean that we start to escape the range that we have set so far that really is the handle. So if you continue also with the narrative of the handle, we can actually set targets for escaping these handles. So what could happen, guys, if this is the next start really of the escape, we can use this neckline, the neckline of a cup of coffee. And then we have to draw to the bottom of the cup. So that would mean, guys, that going really to the neckline again would give us a new target really for Bitcoin sitting at about 120k. So that is really the next leg up, guys. Another argument that would support a breakout of the cup and handle pattern is that we are very close to the month of October. And October also has the nickname October because, as you see, we are nearly always green in the month of October, historically seen for Bitcoin. So again, a very good sign that we are close to some momentum also in Q4 that we see over here. A lot of green, guys, which is very, very good. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of talk about Bitcoin, a lot of talk about macro, but of course the question is, what is Cronos doing? But I did need to mention this, guys, because you need to be aware of the broader bull market, and there are so many signs on green. And let me show you a few signs that we have for Cronos as well. Let's get started with the fractal from the intro, because I'm really surprised that no one is talking about this. We found this fractal when we were looking at the 50-day simple moving average, which is the blue line. And right now it is being used as support. And the last time this was used as support, that was back here when we had this big move up about 100% towards 18 cents for CRO. And when we had the fractal, guys, we just saw it was very, very similar. So we had one big wick down here, and then it started a new uptrend. So when we overlay this fractal, it is so similar. So if we can use this as an example of what can happen in the upcoming days, guys, is that right now, of course, we have maybe a few minutes down. But then, just after a few days, we can start some upward moves again. So maybe in about October again, when we expect a green month anyway, this can really be the start for the next leg up towards again 18 cents. So guys, I would not be surprised if it will follow this fractal, and in about the end of October, we're trading back at about 20 cents for CRO. We can find more supporting evidence for this by going to the MACD for Cronos on the weekly. And we talked about this endlessly. But again, guys, in the light red over here, that means we're very close to a new green beginning. And this green beginning would fit very nicely with, of course, this fractal again. So I'm really looking forward, guys, for bigger waves like we see over here in the green. So we do see bullish signs for both Cronos and Bitcoin, but what will be the better buy right now? To answer that, we'll make use of a few different tools, and one of those is the Altcoin Season Index. Last month we had a score of 22, and right now we're trading at 31. So we're slowly inching up, but definitely it is still very close to Bitcoin season. Although we're slowly inching up, I would say that on the chart, it kind of looks like we have set a double top for the Bitcoin dominance here. So what might happen, guys, is that we actually go back into Bitcoin season before we move up towards an actual altcoin season. And that kind of would make sense if we first have a big move for Bitcoin that would actually bring up the Bitcoin dominance towards like 60%. And only then we really have that big altcoin move. My 2 cents though is that we still have relatively cheap altcoins. So I wouldn't bet the farm and put everything on Bitcoin, because then you could potentially miss a big altcoin wave that comes out of nowhere, because we have seen, for example, Solana do that. If we're looking objectively to the data though, what we can see for CRO Bitcoin on the chart is that we set an all-time low in September for the CRO Bitcoin valuation. However, what you can see is that there was quite some buying strength from this level, so we actually closed in the blue zone, which is a lot better than closing down in the gray zone. However, having said that, if you can actually draw a trend line, it is still mainly down. So I'm not convinced yet that we are out of the woods. But potentially, guys, this was a nice buying zone. And I'm still thinking, hey, zoom out. Don't forget to zoom out. And then you can see that still, guys, relatively seen, CRO is so cheap. Potentially, we can still climb about 1000% to go to the previous all-time high. So definitely worth the wait. But if you would ask me, are you selling your Bitcoin to buy more CRO? I'm not doing that right now. I see too much downward risk still. So I'm still waiting for an actual confirmation of a good bounce. But okay, guys, that's no financial advice, just what I'm doing myself. In general, though, I do believe that the days of cheap CRO and cheap Bitcoin will be over soon. So I personally took advantage of these cheap prices and actually recently surpassed a very important milestone with my CRO bag. Because right now, guys, I have more than 1.5 million CRO. So yeah, quite the heavy bag. And of course, I bought about 1 million, guys, not that long ago. But I also used the DeFi side of Cronos to grow my bags passively, which is a really nice boost. So guys, to the right of me, I do have a video to learn more about how to take advantages of these yield opportunities on chain. So check it out.